If you guys don't know what Mixels Unite is, it's supposed to be a fan game that acts as a love letter to Mixel fans and non-fans alike. Ever since its cancellation in 2020, people have tried several attempts of bringing it back in all its glory, from art pieces to fan animations.
Super mega duper bigger
One of those attempts was a video called Mixels Unite, the Remixed movie. At the time of its release, people were praising its tribute for the 10th anniversary of Mixels, and others were complaining about how the events in the movie didn't stay true to the original game. But tonight, the two main characters in the game, MC and Pippy, are here to reveal everything that went wrong. Now tell me, what made you so skeptical about the events in the movie?
Yeah, if I ever pointed out some flaws in that movie, I had to choose the fact that I was made into an infinite instead of a tribe shifter. The crew couldn't decide what color I should be at the time, so they just had to stick with one to avoid problems with the budget. And there were some pretty questionable scenes too, like, why did I act a bit happy when I was eating fast food for the first time? I'm 12 years old, mind you.
Okay, and now I'm going to ask the questions to Pippy. What is it?
Oh boy. I guess the main problem here is that the Maximum Mixer was meant to be me in my true form, but in the movie, he's portrayed as a separate entity! And my so-called father! Gosh, if the rating was a bit more accurate, I wouldn't have to be in that mess!
And yeah, that was pretty bad. Sometimes the media either received hate at first, but slowly got praised over time. Remember Secret Mountain for Awesome? Let's move on. MC, how would you feel about your characterization in this adaptation?
Well, first of all, I was dumbed down to a point where I couldn't figure out how to use a toaster. I'm not kidding. People would start to take advantage of me by either making me likable or that I shouldn't be the main protagonist at all.
The 5 characters from the game, which are MC, Pippy, Big Boxer Joe, Safe, and Tessie, were all flanderized very badly. For instance, Say has been reduced to a mixed tuber, and Big Boxer Joe has been reduced to small cameos in commercials, the fight between the Infinites and Mixed Unite, and at the near end of the movie. Knowing the writers of the original show, the movie was slightly a combination between comedy, drama, and rather sensual stuff. Most of the time, people will start noticing some scenes that begin making weird pictures of the Mixels. Often because of that crappy homosexual plug, but you know.
There weren't really any real raunchy scenes happening because we weren't there to raise the horse beyond experience. My buddy never could prove this. For all we know, there would probably be banned in some other countries thanks to that.
I didn't even know those were meant to show up. If I saw it in person, my single eye would burn from all the disgusting imagery. Just be glad that the movie's age rating didn't go any further, or else we'd have to say words that aren't appropriate for TV.
Overall, how would you feel about this movie's plot from start to finish?
Personally, the animation, story, and musical segments are all mediocre, just trying to sound good, but unknowingly became mediocre again. But if there's one thing I have to think is decent, it's the voice acting. Although not bad for a bunch of teenagers, some moments would still fall into the ear-piercing screeching levels category.
Yeah, if we had to change the story from the start of production, then it would be even more accurate to the original game. Speaking of which, if it wasn't for that getting cancelled, then I have to say you should take your time and do it right!
And there you have it, the 2 deepest, darkest secrets revealed. MC's flanderization, Pippy's separation, and lots of other stuff happening. Well anyways, this has been Behind the Scenes of Mixels Unite, the Remix movie. Good night!